So this is funny. I wanted to talk about this and get your thoughts on this, because this is pretty easy to understand. But apparently there are a lot of intelligent boxing guys, and Oscar De La Hoya being one of them, that he doesn't get it. So in the plaintiff's affidavit, right, he claims that DAZN wants one premium opponent and one non-premium opponent per year, and to take less money to fight the non-premium opponent, right? And according to Canelo, DAZN listed Oscar De La Hoya at age 47, Jorge Masvidal, and Khabib as the three premium opponents listed besides Gennady Golovkin. And they approved Callum Smith and Billy Joe Saunders for Canelo as non-premium opponents. And here's what Big Dan Raphael had to say about it, right? He said this: it seems unfair and unrealistic to give a guy only one bona fide choice to fight Triple G when the contract doesn't specify that, according to the suit, and to not consider Jacobs, Kovalev, or Smith premium opponents. It's just not legit to me. I strongly disagree with that. End quote. I'm reading from his Twitter, the big fat man, right? So, sorry, that wasn't very nice, was it, Lee? I'm sorry, man.
No.
But
shame on you.
So, Lee, please break it down to us. What is a premium opponent in the minds of John Skipper and the brass at DAZN?
Yeah, you're looking at two different types of premium. And I'm surprised Dan Raphael didn't catch this. Indeed, those opponents that he's fought are top-level opponents, yes. They're, in the ring. But they're not the type of opponent DAZN considers premium, because they're looking at dollars. They're looking at subscriptions. They're looking at popularity, okay? They're looking at the most bang for their buck, okay? They're not looking for the best possible fight, the best possible opponent. They're looking strictly how much can we make the most, who can make us the most money. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, Daniel Jacobs, in that case, is not a premium opponent. He is in the ring, a lot more premium than Matavascal, but as far as a draw, they're looking at drawing power. That's it. So Justin Bieber would be a premium opponent because he's got drawing power. If you had Justin Bieber fight Canelo, well, guess what? Like, everybody would order the fight. Their subscriptions would go through the roof for at least a month or two, okay? He'd be a premium opponent because he'd be a big draw. Not a good fight, obviously, but a big draw. So they're looking at, DAZN is looking at who can we get in here that's going to make us money? Who is the biggest attraction? Okay? Not necessarily the best opponent. And as you know, Joseph, a lot of the times, the best opponent isn't the biggest attraction.
No, absolutely.
The best fight isn't the biggest attraction.
You're absolutely right. I mean, and once again, there's no rhyme or reason why fans choose to flock to a specific entertainer and completely ignore another. I mean,
right.
You look at all these guys at the world-class level, they're all very talented, but why fans choose to flock towards one and not another, it's a mystery. If anyone knew that secret recipe for success in entertainment, in any entertainment field, then yes, everyone would be doing it.
Right.
But you could get two fighters that are very similar and do the exact same thing, very similar personalities, but for some reason one gets all the fans, one's the big ticket seller, one's the mainstream attraction,
right.
and the other doesn't even move the needle. So that's just entertainment, guys. And to be honest with you, I remember speaking to Austin Trout, right? This is right after his big, huge success in Madison Square Garden against Miguel Cotto, in which he pulled off the upset and earned the shot against Canelo in the Alamodome, right? And I was speaking to him, and he goes, you know what, man, I can't understand it. I'm an entertaining fighter. I just beat Miguel Cotto. I don't understand why my brand isn't getting any bigger. I've got a much better personality than Canelo also, but for some reason the Cinnamon Boy, he's got all the fans. He's got everyone kissing his rear end, and I don't get it. What do I have to do besides beat his ass in the ring? And I'm like, you know what? I wish I knew that, Austin.
Right.
Yeah, he was a little upset because he's a naturally charismatic, funny guy, Austin Trout, right? And he couldn't understand why, even after all the interviews that he did, it was Canelo with the personality of a stick that attracted all the fans.
Right.
Personality of a stick. But look, man, when you look back at this, right, who's at fault here, right? DAZN blames Golden Boy. Golden Boy blames DAZN. And Canelo blames both factions. But for what exactly? He hasn't been ripped off. They haven't shorted him in money. No, none of the big stars are currently fighting right now. What actually is this all about, Lee? I mean, it's like they're blaming each other, but for what? Nothing's happened.
Right.
What is this really all about, man? I mean, think about that.
Yeah.
What are they actually blaming who for what? Because what has actually happened?
It's one giant cluster. That's what's happened. I think you're right, though. I think maybe Canelo's team is firing warning shots, saying that, well, you know, we don't want you to back out of the contract. You still, even though there's a pandemic, you still owe us something because we have a contract, even though there's a pandemic. So don't even think about backing out of your contract. Don't even think about unleashing a force majeure or enforcing that. You know, maybe it's just them saying, yeah, we're still here and we still expect to get paid something, a large amount. Maybe not the $30 to $35 million he was promised, but as you said, we'll take $24 or $25 million. We'll take that. I think that's my best guess as to why this is all happening. And obviously, you know, the pandemic again this is all forced, so it's kind of hard to point fingers. That, and then the fact too that I think Canelo's being a diva. You know, he's basically, you know, he's not. It seems like he's going to be a little stubborn in the negotiations process. He's not willing to work with DAZN. So who knows what will happen? I don't have the slightest idea. I don't have the slightest clue. What I feel to mention is I don't think he's going to find anyone that's going to pay him all those millions. So I think he's with the best possible company right now because you're not going to get that from ESPN. You know, you're not going to get – I think that right now he's with – as far as getting paid, he's with the highest bidder right now because he's not going to get that money from these other outlets. And I think that's going to be huge. I don't know if they realize that. Maybe they think they can conveniently go to Al Heyman. They think they can conveniently go to ESPN or some other outlet. Maybe they don't realize it. But once they realize it, they're going to be willing to work with DAZN.
Well,
if it's not too late.
Yeah, I think that they will eventually work through this if, and this is a big if, Lee, if DAZN still wants to operate in America. If they still want to do boxing in America, they will forge through this, and they will come to some kind of agreement. But that's a big if. We'll have to wait and see. It's all contingent. It is contingent on whether or not DAZN wants to operate still in the U.S.